You know, I have to say, I really enjoy exploring the possibilities of a landscape. And today we have a house in Georgia, a beautiful craftsman style house. Now, this belongs to Beth, and she tells me that it's on the foundation of her great-grandmother's house from around 1936. And it does have kind of a homestead feeling when you take a look at this enormous tree in the front. It looks like perhaps a big oak tree. So the house faces southwest, so we get a lot of hot sun coming at the house, but the tree obviously gives Beth a lot of protection, and that big generous porch looks very inviting. Now it looks like we have a blank slate to start with, and what I would do is probably anchor the corners with some tall evergreens. Now, as you can see on this side of the house, it's not very interesting, so what I would do is probably take another large evergreen and place it down here, and then all along this bed, I would create a very generous bed that would come around and relate to the front, all the way up to the front step like that. Now, in between, Beth, I think what we could do is add some lower growing plants, like a rhythm of boxwood, and then in front of it, plant that beautiful Annabelle hydrangea with its creamy blooms. I think creamy white with your house would be very beautiful with this sort of apricot colored brick. Now the big evergreens could be hollies. In Georgia, there's so many great ones to choose from. There's needlepoint, Nellie R. Stevens, Emily Bruner, and so forth, or even Foster holly would be beautiful here. And I would take the same plant and bring it over here on the other side. You'd see it on the other side here. It's a little hard to tell from the tree, but then the bed would come on around. It looks like you've got some steps or stepping stones from the steps all the way out. And what I would do here is probably take a bed line that would run along the street like this, and the same way over here on this side. I would use those boxwoods here, and a boxwood on either side there, and boxwood here, and boxwood here, and then on the other side of the porch so it's balanced. And then in this space along the tree, because it's going to be hard to get something to grow here, I would grow a really tough ground cover. I would grow something like Euonymus coloratus or the winter creeper, or if you like monkey grass, liriope would do very well out here in this hot sun. And I would bring it all around the boxwood here and here and do the same thing on the other side. Now, since this porch is really an outdoor room, I would plant some gardenias all along in here, Beth, and the other side as well, so you get that wonderful fragrance. And you really have an opportunity, I think, here on this blank wall, and I believe you'll get enough sun if you wanted to grow a rose like New Dawn. It's one of my favorites. It's a great climbing rose that would grow up onto this wall, and it could even come across this part of the porch, which would be really charming. It would even add to the architecture and give it that sort of cottage look. And then in these beds across the front, I would go with a soft colored azalea, low growing along the front foundation like that. You could carry on with the white theme. You'd have the white hydrangeas, and then you would have white azaleas and the creamy sort of soft pink color of the New Dawn rose, and then of course the white gardenias. And I would keep these about at this height here, about only coming up about 2/3 on this wall. And then I would fill in, there may be enough shade here where you could grow some hosta, which would be beautiful growing out of the ground cover. And again, whatever ground cover you use here, I would use the same ground cover here and all the way around along the edge of the bed. And then in these planter boxes, since you get so much shade, try some of those wonderful double Impatiens. They're so beautiful, and there's a creamy colored one, soft pink kind of cream colored one that could be planted in these planter boxes. And I'd actually allow something to spill out over the edge of it, like creeping Jenny or some sort of cascading plant that will do well in that partial shade. I love the chartreuse color of creeping Jenny. Well, it's a beautiful house. Congratulations. I love the fact that there's a family connection to it, and good luck with it, Beth.